7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
All right. What is going on, everybody? We are live, Uprights and Insights. We got our man Birdgang 31. What's going on?
Yes, sir, man. How you doing, Trox? We took a couple of weeks off. You know what I'm saying? We had to get that family time in, but we are back at it, and we got an epic show tonight.
Hey, absolutely. And I know you guys see somebody new. We got the 2022 NFL draft prospect, EJ LaBaze. How's it going, brother?
Going good. It's going good. Thank you all for having me. It's been a blessing. It's a crazy ride.
Hey, absolutely. So so EJ, I gotta start it off with can you tell us a little bit about yourself? Like as far as like like people that might not know anything about you.
Yeah. So, EJ Labaz, Edwin Labaz, or however you want to call me. Born in Brooklyn, New York, raised in Virginia. Did some time in junior college, JUCO, in California at Chabot College. Then furthering my education and my career at Adams State University, where I spent the last few years there, kind of forging and making a name for myself and making a home there and building the brand. And now we're here, blessedly.
Hey, absolutely, man. Like, just tell me a little bit of like what's going through your head a little bit.
To be honest with you, I've been like pretty lighthearted and like easy on my mind because this process can be so dreadful or like anxious or so oh, I need to get ready for what's next. I kind of just do my best to stay in right now and get ready for the today, instead of the future, because that's gonna come and that's gonna go and it's gonna be what it is regardless of what happens.
Yeah, I could see that. Uh,
Level, I like it. Level headed, take the highs and the lows. She's like, I'm just gonna come in this chill wherever I do and make sure I get there and do my thing.
Absolutely, I definitely love that. And it kind of tells you what kind of dog mentality you got. Like, nothing is too big. For the situation. Like, lives are about to change starting tomorrow, and it's never too big. Like, and it seems like you kind of like have that mentality of like you're trying to rise to the occasion. Like, what comes my way, we're gonna deal with it accordingly.
Yeah, that's what that's the process, not only the process, but that's what my life's been about, not riding the highs, not riding the lows, just kind of staying real evil kill, or even kill, and seizing whatever opportunity comes my way. I'm ready for everything, and I'd be lying if I wasn't to say I wasn't excited, but it's just a part of the process. This is a business, and then we're gonna come with whatever energy the business comes with us. So that's just how I feel about that.
Absolutely.
How long have you been playing ball, man? Like, when did you know that you could possibly be a draft prospect?
To be honest, I've been playing, but like, you have people that play Pee Wee and AYFL, and they started at 6 years old. I started in middle school. Compared to those people, I'm still fresh to the game. I started middle school, played since middle school, and what it really clicked in my head was, at the end of high school, my high school career, when I had to make a decision to go JUCO because of my grades. I said to myself, if I'm gonna go this deep, if I'm gonna go knee deep in it, I'm gonna go all the way, and I believed since I got out of high school that I had the ability to go pro. It really started coming to fruition this last year, uh, with the All-Star game in Texas and the pro day, and it just kind of snowballing there. But I knew since 4 or 5 years ago.
Nice, nice. Now let everybody know, what is your game? Like, what do you bring to the table? Why should these NFL teams pick you over the next 3 days?
Yeah, I bring a lot of versatility. I've played multiple positions. I can learn multiple positions quick. The name of the game is how quick can you learn. They're going to give you a fat playbook in front of your face, and how quickly can you learn that? And I've always been, I don't want to say smarter than people, but I've always been pretty smart and pretty quick on my feet. I can learn a new install, I can learn a new playbook, I can learn a new position relatively quickly. On top of that, um, you just see the competitive nature I've had. Wherever I go, I'm going to compete. You know, everybody wants to compete on Sunday. Well, I compete Monday through Saturday, and I'm going to do it every week in and out. I'm going to be the annoying person in the coach's ear, like, Coach, how do you want this? How do you want that? How do you, how should I play this? Because I'm coming into your program, so I want to do everything that you want to be done in the way you want to do it, instead of trying to bring my, how I think it should be done. Furthermore, off the field, I've just illustrated things that people in this draft class hasn't, and I've shown things that I could bring to a community as well as an organization.
That is
Nah,
awesome.
I like it.
Yeah, I mean, hey, you sure you don't want to come to Detroit? Like, I mean,
You know, it's crazy though. Detroit is rich in history.
yeah,
I'm thinking a little bit
Hey,
off.
hey, don't
Rich,
let them bite you on that Detroit stuff, man. This Philadelphia, baby. You know you want to come here, Philly. You know what I'm saying? That's where we at. We Philadelphia over here.
one of the people I played against in high school, Josh Sweat. He's with the
Sweat's
Eagles.
my God. I
Yeah,
love Sweat.
yeah. We played against each other in high school. He went to Oscar Smith, which is where my little cousin goes now. And I went to Colonial Forge. So I see Sweat. Both, the city of brotherly love. Detroit has a great history as well. Both of them have a great feisty fan base, and I love that. I'm always
oh,
at it.
absolutely. Like like to me, like it just feels like through all the trials, the tribulations, the ups, the downs, going to JUCO. I mean, we have a guy that went to JUCO, got drafted, well, was an undrafted free agent last year, which is uh Jacob uh or Jerry Jacobs. And and he got into that Dan Campbell system, and it was just like everything just kind of clicked for him last year, and he started getting more playing time and things like that, and it's just like he blossomed as a player all before our eyes. I mean, like, I watched him a little bit at Arkansas. Obviously, I don't get all the games and stuff like that, but like the games I was able to watch, I got to actually, really appreciate that game. And then, to see him come from as an undrafted free agent and things like that, and to blossom, like, I mean, I see a lot of similarities, like whether it's a draft pick or undrafted free agent. I think that, like, that kind of mentality kind of translates. And I mean, it doesn't even have to be Detroit. It could be, anywhere. You can even land on the world champs, the LA Rams. You know, and you could bring so many different facets to the game of football. And man, I can't wait.
I definitely appreciate that. I definitely appreciate it. I think that at this point in time, the NFL or a lot of professional football, leagues, they have so much talent because of COVID. They're littered with
Yeah.
talent. So you're gonna get great talent, and you're gonna find great value almost anywhere. And they name, I'm a competitor, so I just want to be the best value and the best talent they can find. Obviously. So wherever that may be, I'm 110% behind it.
Yeah, you gotta keep that confidence high. You know what I'm saying? Keep that confidence high. And then when you get these locker rooms, you gotta go in like, I am that dude. You know what I'm saying? I might not be starting now, but I came here to be that dude. You know what I'm saying? What separates you? Because I know like a lot of the JUCO and small school guys, you know what I'm saying, they get a bad rap. Well, look at the talent level they played against, throughout their career. Like, what would you tell that person that's like, hey man, you come from a small school, you didn't play the Alabamas, you didn't play, the big name schools. Like, how do I know that you are going to be that player that comes in here and makes a difference for my team?
Yeah, so that's a great question. And I think that's the biggest question scouts have for smaller school prospects like myself. And I want to simply say the RMAC, which is what I played in, are known for offense and defensive line. We play mammoths. I've played against people that are 6'7", 6'5", NFL prototype people. The center for the Buccaneers, Ryan Jensen, well, I did my pro day at his old college, which is a D2 school, which is Pueblo. So the scouts love getting D-line and O-linemen from our conference because you get beasts, right? So the competition in that regard is of high regard. Secondly, my conference plays. I mean, we have 3 or 4 teams that are top 25 in the country yearly. So I'm not playing, weak competition. I'm playing some of the best that I've illustrated in my game that I can hang with some of the best at my conference in D2 as a whole. Small school prospect, big school prospect, it doesn't matter. You got to compete. So if you're willing to compete, then there's that. If you're willing to line up against me and do our conditioning test or do our bench test, whatever the case is, it doesn't matter. We're going to compete whether you win or whether, I win. You're not going to go off easy. So I think when you get JUCO players, for instance, the kid, what's his name? Jermaine Johnson or something like that.
Johnson, yes.
Yep.
He's a JUCO kid. He's projected top 15 pick in this year's draft. And that's because of the dog mentality you get with these JUCO kids. We're rough around the edges. Because we've wanted more and we fought literally in our lives to get it. So I think that's what I would tell somebody.
I like it.
Yeah, I mean, from the little bit I kind of know about JUCO, like it's not easy going from JUCO to like say like a Alabama or LSU or one of these D1 D2 schools because of a lot of their things that they have in place. So literally like fighting for your life is literally an understatement. Trying to get to that end goal of playing professional ball.
Yeah. And, even to piggyback off of that, it's so crazy because people think JUCO are full of like outcasts. Well, in reality, like my first ever JUCO game playing, my freshman year, I went against the #1 recruit in the country, Elliot Baker, which was offensive tackle that committed to Alabama later that season. And you get JUCO players. For instance, a couple years ago is when the world really got aware of what junior college football is. When we had Kevin White out of West Virginia do JUCO and then go to West Virginia, and then was a first round pick, and he was like, "Oh, what is JUCO?" And this is where a lot of athletes, that fill a lot of rosters, D1, D2, D3, NAIA, play at. They only got so many scholarships at D1s and D2s and D3s. So you have to fill up your roster with people that are JUCO players and walk-ons because guess what? You can't give a scholarship to somebody that a 4-year scholarship to a freshman that he has no playing experience as opposed to a JUCO player that has been in college and has been playing competition.
Yeah.
What's your main strength?
My main strength on the field or off the field?
On the field.
Yeah, so on the field, obviously I would say it's my quickness, but I also attach it with my off the field strength, which is my smarts. I want to say that I'm more of, when it comes to studying the game, like a Luke Kuechly. When you hear stories like Luke Kuechly, how he knows what play is going to happen before the play happens, he can react quicker. So I'm one of those type of people where, through my film study and through the film sessions, I could pick up on tendencies a little bit quicker, especially throughout the game. I can pick up on tendencies quicker, and that allows me to react quicker and play quicker. Especially me, I'm a person with great stamina. So third, fourth quarter comes around, I'm still going while you're, a little bit tired, a little bit fatigued. And because I also know you're playing on top of me having better stamina, I can be able to play quicker to wherever I need to play to.
And I like, when it comes to small schools, people, I like to look at things like stats and like what you did for the team. Like, were you a captain on the team ever? Were you, leading tackler? Like, what was your main accolades from this school?
Yeah, I was a team captain this year. With the stats, the stats were where they were because we did an NFL style of rotation. So we didn't have 4 guys that played all game. We rotated 10 D linemen every single game. So my stats were okay. They were cool, but what my film shows is that I'm making the best out of minimum reps. And that's not, I wasn't playing at all. I was playing a lot. All right, I played all 11 games throughout the season. But where that separates me from it is you see these guys at these big schools, they get 50, 60, 70 plays a game. And the stats they have with getting those 70 plays a game. With me, I was able to do that in 30 plays a game, you know, and that shows the effectiveness I have.
Nice.
Absolutely. So, like I always I live stream a lot, and I always tell everybody, like, especially like defensive line, offensive line. I always tell them, getting the first person to get those hands after that initial punch, getting those hands to the inside pads, dropping your butt, moving your feet. You know, how often do you hear that, like, throughout playing, like, your playing time?
Yeah, so I mean, every day I've had, at JUCO, even at high school, we've had, my head coach is a Hall of Fame head coach in Virginia. So he's a little bit more experienced than most head coaches. He's coached former NFL players himself. And his specialty was offensive defensive line. So, at high school, I've heard that. At JUCO, I've heard that as well. Had experienced coaches there. And just most recently at Adams State with my DLine coach, Kai Ellis, which is former, NFL, CFL player. He literally preaches that every day. You have to get hands first. There's always hands, feet, hands, hips, feet, and just playing violent and low.
Yeah.
And I know you want to go to any team that drafts you or picks you up, but did you have a favorite team growing up?
Yeah, so being born in New York, kind of, and having most of my family be
Don't you say it. You
Giants.
You're not gonna say it. You said it.
Being
For the win.
Man. That's rough.
I grew up being rebellious and being a Jets fan. So I've been a Jets fan since before Brett Favre was there, which was like, I remember watching like Lavanius Coles and they had a run Curtis Martin when he came from
Thompson played with them.
Yeah. You've had some people there, before Mark Sanchez and Sean Green, and yeah. So I've been a Jets fan.
I can't even bag me with the Jets because I thought you were gonna say the Giants, and that's what I'm an Eagles fan, so it's like we don't like them little Giants around here. You know what I'm saying?
My brother's a Giants fan. I definitely appreciate what the Eagles have done. I think the Eagles, especially when they had Andy Reid, were one of the transcending teams in the NFL, just on the style of play. Eagles, in my lifetime, has been a very explosive team when they're winning. So, Eagles brand of football is definitely rich.
Yeah, and like if you look at the players too, like I know how you just said, I came from a rotation. If you look at the defensive line for the Philadelphia Eagles, specifically, we rotate guys over and over again. We got guys coming in and coming in. Like, is that the kind of system you would like to be in, your first year inside the pros? Because, like you said, when you got those 4 starters in that D line that just like play all the time, the backups come in every now and then to give them a little breather. But when you go to an organization that automatically has that full rotation, you're looking at 8 to 10 starters. You know what I'm saying? The second streamers are starters, just like the first streamers start. Is that more of an organization you want to get into? You think that'd be more beneficial for your game?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, who doesn't want to start, especially for the NFL team? Like, if I was one of those guys that was with those NFL teams that we play our 4 or 5 guys, and that's just what it is, and I was one of those 4 or 5 guys, I would say, yes, I want that, right? But, with the way the NFL is today and what, I've experienced, rotation is the best. You literally have two and a half groups of D linemen, edge rushers, or whatever that can do what you're asking them to do at a high rate. It's not really a drop off anymore in the NFL. The backups, quote unquote, aren't that far behind the starters because there's so much talent in the NFL. So I think that I would thrive in any situation. However, for your question, to be in a rotation package or to be in a rotation, and one of these NFL teams that have an establishing rotation, will benefit because now my mind is, as soon as I get it, I got to make a play or I got to do my assignment. Rather as I got a couple plays to relax and a couple plays to get, loose. Like, no, these 3 plays, I got to do it. I got to execute, puts a little more pressure on the body.
I like it. I like
Absolutely. I mean, I had I kind of trying to gauge like a mindset a little bit. So I had one of University of Miami Hurricanes legend uh Benny Blaze on my channel. And he was like, I could go into any locker room and within a few minutes I could tell you who's the dog and who's there for pretty much a paycheck or whatever case it may be. You know, like how does like having that dog mentality kind of like translate from any situation, like from within life, from, on the football field, to an everyday kind of like life.
Yeah, it's as simple as, um, Birdgang, I think he has a family. I think I heard a kid in the back earlier.
Oh yeah, I got a lot of eaglets around here, man. Like you
So
get
guess
money,
what?
a lot. I got like 7 of them. So
Let me
I can definitely got that family going.
let me ask you a question then. If you don't work or if you don't provide, does your family eat the same?
No,
So you have to. It's a
yes,
must. There's no ifs, ands, buts about
grind
it.
don't stop, my guy.
The grind don't stop. So I take the same approach to life, and it's one of those things. It's not like a dog mentality for me anymore. It's a life. It's just life. People want to characterize it as dog mentality. Some want to say grit. Some want to say, whatever the case is, this is life. I don't want to. I have the best at anything I give my put my feet in, and that's
Absolutely.
If you compare your game to anybody, you know, uh, a 2-part question, more 3 technique, and if you compare your game to anybody, who would you compare it to?
yeah. I've done both. I like both, honestly, for different reasons. I like anywhere in the DLine. I really can't compare my game to anybody. However, I can compare. Um, I answer like this: the person that I closely resemble myself to is a James Harrison type. Why? Because he was more of an outcast. He didn't have the measurables. I don't want to say he wasn't wanted because he did get into the league, but his road was way harder than a lot of people. And he worked. He worked his butt off. To this day, he's probably in his late 30s, early 40s, and he's still working his butt off. And his mindset is something I could say I closely compare myself to as mindset wise. Is I don't care what my measurables say. I don't care what the numbers say. I don't care what the film looks like. Come meet me in real life and come meet me in person and be around me a couple weeks and then let's see if your opinions still the same.
How big are you?
Yeah, so I got measured 6 foot, 251.
Okay.
Okay.
So you imagine yourself changing positions in the pros? How you versatile in that aspect? Like, can you play
Yeah,
some outside linebacker? Can you play other positions, or are you just mostly focused on D line?
yeah. We're mostly focused on being an athlete, especially when you see people like Michael Parsons do what he did with his quote unquote first real season as a D lineman or edge rusher or whatever you want to call him. Literally, he was just an athlete at that position. So right now, we're just focused on being able to be an athlete and be versatile, where we can go outside linebacker, DN, which are very closely tied. Maybe one back in the coverage. Maybe we'll be at fullback. We could.
Nice. Offense too?
Yeah. So at JUCO, I got a little bit of offense in me at JUCO. Or practicing during the spring of 2017 or 2016. And then I was like an emergency tight end / fullback when we had a little altercation at JUCO. So I had to learn like half the plays in like less than a week. It was crazy.
Oh
How do
wow.
you like that? How you like the offensive side of the ball? 'Cause that's what I'm on. I'm on the offensive side of the ball. Anyway,
And it's the glitz and the glam. Like who doesn't want to catch a ball? Who doesn't want to score a touchdown? You know, that's what. Who doesn't want to do the gritty in the end zone? You know, like
right? Jalen Hurts, baby. He gritting out.
yeah, you
Like,
know, I love that. But at the same time, it's just being a part. I've kind of been a person that goes against the grain. So being a person that can be able to take that momentum, kill that momentum, eliminate a game, like that's equally as exciting.
nice. Nice. I like that. I like that. See, you just anywhere. You just give me an opportunity. Give me a chance. Let me show you that I can deserve to be here. And that's all that really matters at the end of the day. If you can see it, it can happen. You know what I'm saying? Like if you don't see it first, and that's where you gotta, you kind of cut yourself short. You gotta be able to see it and know it. It gotta be like one of these things where just give me one chance. I don't care if I'm the last guy picked. I don't care if I was on the practice squad. I don't care what I am. Just give me the opportunity to get on that field one time, and I promise you won't regret that.
Yeah, you know, like I was telling my brother earlier, I was like, you could probably pay me $0, and I go play a whole full. The simple fact is that not only was it a dream to have your last name on a jersey that you dreamed about, but for the people that support you and for the people that are corner, you know, whether day to day or they tell you like, yo, I'm proud of you. You don't even know what you did, X, Y, Z. To me, it's bigger than just football. So I know I could use football as a propeller in life. And you can put me at special teams and that's all I do for my career, and I'm gonna be completely happy.
I like that.
So if it's one thing that you're able to bring off the field, uh, whether it's you know um, just anything, what would that one thing be that you can help, say, a community?
Yeah, so everybody kind of wants to say leadership, because it's the go-to characteristic. Um, I'm a team captain, right? I was a team captain for my team, so that leadership is obvious, and it's been apparent, right? But the creativeness, the most people don't know I'm 23, but I wrote a book, right?
Oh, snap.
Okay, okay.
Look at the name of that book, Surviving the Storm, my God. I like that name. That's just looking at it just made me think, I want to check it out. You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
I like it. You better
but
save
that's just kind of to show that I'm a more than just football. I'm a positive role model and a positive image in any community. We've been doing some guest speaking, some guest appearances at high schools this last 2 months, just kind of talking about the mental health, the mental hardships, and some of these things that we go through internally that haven't been addressed. So it's talking, what do I bring to an organization or a community? I mean, light, but a positive image that you could add on to an organization.
nice.
Absolutely. Okay, okay.
Okay,
Now,
go ahead.
can you tell us where we can pick up that book?
Yeah, it's on Noble, but Amazon's easy because most people got the Amazon Prime. You can get the that same minute, and you can get the like a day or two later.
Okay,
That
okay.
man. Let's see. What was the question? I just had a question. Go first. So let me think of that one right again real fast. What I want to know is like, you know, let everybody know like how hard is it like to train and get ready for this NFL thing? Like how much, day in, day out? Is it like one of them things where it's like everyday process? Do you have personal trainers? How does that work for you? Being from the smaller school, because their agents sign them up to all these side like programs they go through before they hit the draft. Like, what's this process been like for you?
So we have a lot of people in my corner, which I'm blessed for. Um, I have two trainers that I do train with, um, and then I also have my boy. I think he's on here on the live. Daniel C. Right, he's gonna be a prospect soon himself. But we've been training as of recently, and we've been going hard at it. So I'm training probably 5-6 days a week, on the field and in the weight room. And the process, especially for a smaller school kid, it's a little more difficult because you don't have these guarantees. Like you could be a Bama, you could be an Alabama, fourth string um, DB or fourth string corner or wide receiver, and you're still more than likely going to be able to get picked up by a team just because you have
Right.
So the process is really unknown for a lot of us. Even though some of us have had the All-American acclimates, attached to their names, is because of COVID. There's over 1,000 prospects, and so how do you get your name out there above somebody else's? And that's a part of the process too. It's not only the working out, because we're all working out. They're all working out. It's doing the media stuff. Doing stuff like this, doing the interactions and engagements, and keeping your name hot as long as possible. That's been an everyday thing.
What do you think is the number one thing you have to work in terms of your game?
Just adding to the explosiveness. I think when we see people like VTech's defensive end run a 4.3,
Oh yeah.
being a defense, quote unquote, is never too much speed no more at that position. So working on the explosiveness, being able to keep up. Like, I know I'm quicker than these offensive linemen, but it's more than just being quicker than these offensive linemen. I got to be quicker and faster than these other defensive linemen and linebackers.
What's the best player you ever played against? Who's the best player you ever played against?
Elliot Baker, like I said, was a good one in JUCO. Bama commit, Alabama commit. He was a really good one. That was a good test to see where I was at physically and mentally. That gave me a lot of confidence. Recently, this last year, Shadron State had a very good offensive tackle, very aggressive, strong hands. I can't remember his name. And then Colorado School of Mines, which is a top 10 team in the country, they had a very sound offensive line as a whole. So going against them and being able to put one of them on the butt and, being able to hold my own was definitely a big confidence boost.
Yep. Hold on, guys. Something we had technical difficulties.
It's the LP. This a LP. This a LP.
Trucks. Are you seeing me clear?
Yeah, I see you clear, but you're sideways.
Your side, both of you guys were just sideways.
Really?
Yeah, because you know I leave my phone.
There we
on.
go.
Yeah.
Okay, hold on.
Hold on. Hold on. Okay.
Yeah, terribly sorry about that.
But
We back. We back.
Oh yeah. Oh, something happened with Zoom, and I'm just like, oh no.
I was like, what just happened?
I thought
Yeah, usually stuff like that don't happen like that. But we are back.
You're
Oh
back.
man. That just gave me a mini heart attack there for a second. Because I'm like, oh man, we got a special guest too. And I'm like, what just happened?
Right? But it's all good. We're gonna keep going with it. We're gonna keep going with it though. So tell me your favorite defense, man. Like, do you like the 3-4 better? Do you like the 4-3 better? Like what's your favorite defense? Do you like to read and react? Do you like to just straight attack?
yeah, I do like the attacking front, but also because of my smarts, I think that the read and react plays better into my abilities. Um, I've been playing in multiple defense. Last year, like I said, we kind of ran an NFL style defense, but at the same time, we ran a multiple front defense. So, in any given play, we could be in a 4 down and we could convert that to a 3 down, depending on a formation, depending on an audible. It just really depends. What I truly prefer is the 4 down, because the 4 down allows more one-on-one, with the offensive lineman. It allows more one-on-one blocks. It allows, let's say you're playing against an Aaron Donald, and it definitely allows one-on-one blocks, but it allows one person to take the double team while the rest of us have, our one-on-one matchups. And if you can win your one-on-one matches, which I feel like I could do more times than not, then you have great success in the league.
Absolutely. That's one thing I always try to preach when I like do these live streams and things like that. Like, if you can't win your one-on-ones, there's no spot in the National Football League.
Right.
And I even like when I make my videos and stuff like that, like that's what I always try to preach is like it's those little fundamental stuff that it's going to separate you because like you said, like if you're in your one-on-one and you're able to beat that, you're going to find success. Getting a good bend, and having a short distance to the quarterback, things like that, like that's winning football.
Yeah, and just to kind of piggyback off of that, I think when people are like, oh, one-on-ones, it's a passing league, yes, but, winning one-on-one means that, you're also winning during the pass as well as the run. You're also reaching the line of scrimmage. You're also getting the hands on first and, creating knockback, or you're ahead in your gap and you have your gap and they're not running through the C gap or the B gap, and that's winning your one-on-one as well. And, those are some of the stats, or those are some of the plays that go unseen because you can't stat that. And those are a lot of the things that I've done last year that created opportunities for other players.
Absolutely.
One player you would love to go against to prove your worth. You know what I'm saying? Like, you'd be like, hey, put this guy in front of me. Do you want the best of the best of the best guard? Say like a Brandon Brooks in his prime, or, you know what I'm saying? Like, do you think you can win every single battle?
No one's gonna no one in the league can win every single battle. I think I will win more times than not, and I think you're gonna be surprised. Whoever it is right now, who I want to go against is Quentin Nelson with the Colts, because he's been manhandling a lot of people. If he's gonna do that to me, I want to test it out. Let's test that. I think people will be surprised because another thing that is a key component to my game is my run stop abilities, and how I've used people's leverage against them. So I definitely want to see how that would work out.
Absolutely.
What was your best game?
Say it again.
What was your best game you've ever had?
Black Hills. Black Hills was probably my best game. I think I had like 5 or 6 tackles. I was in on 2 sacks, but they kind of half sacks. So
Mm.
I was in on 2 sacks, had about 3 or 4 pressures that game. One of the sacks I was in on led to, the end of the fourth quarter that went to overtime that eventually went to double OT. So that's probably what my best game for me last year.
Nice. If you wasn't playing football, what would EJ be doing?
Oh, man, it's so crazy that you asked me that because as I play football, I also do a lot of other things, or I think I do a lot of other things in my head. So it's like I really don't let football stop me from still conquering the world. What would I be doing? I guess writing. Not necessarily another book, but be writing like scripts. Trying to conquer something or do my best to conquer something in entertainment.
Nice.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So, okay, before we had like a lot of these technical difficulties, like, okay, so JUCO player, just kind of giving everybody that, maybe just coming in and things like that, like an update a little bit. So JUCO player, we got EJ, um, how do you say your last name? So I don't.
Labaz.
Oh, Labaz. Okay, so EJ Labaz on the stream, JUCO player. 2022 NFL draft prospect. On the night of draft night eve, as some of us all say. Uh, Very hungry player, very motivated player, and a very humble person. One thing I've kind of like had that little quiet that sound was, I've noticed like a lot of it's like very very humble. Like never too big, never too small, never too down, never too high. It's just even keel, humble. Takes what let's use the football term. Take what the offense is going to give you and feast. So we got EJ Labaz on the stream, and welcome everybody in the chat. All those that have been here through before and during the technical difficulties, appreciate that.
Right. Shout out to all you guys. Salute.
Absolutely. But you got any questions, Birdgang?
I can keep going questions all night if you really want to. We can get into his personal life. We can get all the way down to the nitty gritty. You know what I'm saying? I could be that college combine, guy if you really want me to. Like I said, it's just an honor to even have anybody on the platform with us. You know what I'm saying? I feel really blessed
Facts.
to have it. You know what I'm saying? This young man is about to go into a whole nother world, about to do this whole thing. And it's just a pleasure to even have him here. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I wish nothing but great success throughout the whole process. You know what I'm saying? I would tell them to just enjoy it, enjoy this situation. You're one of like the 1%, you know what I'm saying? Like, that even talks about going pro. You know what I'm saying? I told you guys my story backstage. I could have did a lot more of my thing, but I didn't. I chose not to. But at the same time, like, I look up to all the people that do put that hard work in to make sure that they're grinding towards a goal that they want to accomplish. And, I feel like his head, he got a good, his game stands for itself. And, the sky's the limit for this guy. Don't say it doesn't matter where you come from, doesn't matter what, none of that. It doesn't matter what you do when you get there. So I hope that you take advantage of this situation, and make everybody proud like I know you will. You know what I'm saying? Like, does at all on your name, like where they talking about you going at all.
Appreciate all the kind words. It means a lot from both of you. Right now, I think we're gonna be looking at, in the realm of maybe priority free agent. Just some of the process has slowed down for me. We had things didn't work out the best that it should, but literally today we just signed with another agent. Like literally after I get off here, I'm signing the paperwork.
Not
So
Nice.
yeah, getting back on the representation standpoint and getting my name back in their ear, is big. We've talked to a few teams. The Colts sent a pre-draft questionnaire late last week or sometime last week. Like I said, talked to couple of the Jet scouts. So we're doing our due diligence on our side. Talked to one of their Rams assistant scouts on Twitter. One of the commanders, someone in their scouting department, talked to him on Twitter. So
no good. Easy. I had you on the show. I could not have you be in the NFC East unless it's with the Eagles, my guy. Like all those other teams,
like,
nah, I don't be like, hey, look at EJ second hurts. No, that's not cool. That's not cool at all. But I get you. You want to go wherever you go, obviously. But that's all fun and games. But I don't know, man. I wouldn't even know what to do in a situation. I'll be so nervous right now. You know what I'm saying? We're like less than 24 hours before the first name get picked. And even you, like, you don't even know at this moment. Like you said, you like, hey, free agent, undrafted free agent, but whatnot. You don't even know. You come up in the third or fourth round. You know what I'm saying? Like, you never know who's watching you. You know what I'm saying? Like, it can happen either way. You know what I'm saying? Either way.
Yeah, that's the funny thing about it is because there's so many smoke screens and there's so much. For instance, if a team talks to you like, oh, we're interested in picking you up X, Y, and Z, or at this time, the instinct is you're gonna go and tell somebody, or you're gonna go tell the next scout.
Right.
So now this team just lost their prospect that they were looking at, and it's just all chess game, but they play with each other. So you never know what can happen, and I don't know what will happen. I know some people said they like my tape, that have a couple powers, some decent powers. And if it is in the NFL, hopefully it's the CFL, USFL, or XFL. We playing football 2020, 2023, or 2022, whatever that football.
All right, I like it. That's why I said and there's some talent out there, man. Like I thinking I was gonna be a huge fan of it, but it is in Birmingham. I am in Birmingham, and all the teams are here. So at my job, we literally are right next. The whole organization, every team, the next 3 months, man. And they're inside here. These boys, I just talk to them every day. Like, hey, what's your time? Like, how do you enjoy it? And they're just blessed to be playing football. Like a lot of these guys, man, when you get that football in you, man, it's just like you don't really care at the end of the day. Like, if you still got an opportunity to strap it on for one more game, you know what I'm saying? That's what it comes down to. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, no, it's crazy. Whole pizza debacle that went down, where the video that surfaced for the sub USFL team with the running back that got cut because he didn't want the chicken salad or something like that.
Oh yeah, the pizza, the former Michigan Wolverine.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
So the dude, he shook his hand to begin the video, John Peterson. I've talked to him. I have his number. I have his contact, his socials, like his email and his phone number. And it's like, it kind of shows you, he's obviously former NFL scout. He's Seattle Panthers. But long story short, it kind of shows you that like that realm of that stardom of that NFL and like reality was way closer than I thought. We're literally numbers, and these people are grabbing my card and I'm grabbing theirs. It's like, all right, I'll talk to you later. It's like, it's crazy. It's a crazy experience. It's crazy.
For your position, like, name a player in the league that you would love to just pick his brain. You know what I'm saying? Like, you think would insight, take your health next level. Like, who would be a player? I know there's a lot of them in the NFL, obviously, but who would be your favorite player to just play? Hey, if I was on a team with him, whether I'm starting or not, it would just be awesome to be in a locker room with this guy and like.
Yeah. So for knowledge purposes, I would love to be in a locker room with somebody like J.J. Watt. He's been around. He's played all the positions in the D-line as well as stand-up. He can tell you all the tricks and trades of how the league works, longevity in the league, the business in it. For people like Energy, Donald, obviously, I've seen some skits with him, and his energy's off the roof on top of his work ethic. So it's one of those, it's like, I'm going to come at your work ethic and then try to top you as well.
Absolutely. And hey, I hope you would land with JJ Watt because that's Arizona Cardinals. That's my second home team. So, hey, your boy would go and get me an EJ jersey immediately.
Yeah, I think the scout plenty of times. One of the West Coast Arizona scout. I've seen him plenty of times to the bowl game, and we've chatted up a little bit. He's a cool guy, but if Arizona wants me,
Yeah. You know, like if it's one thing that like you have one last impression, like if today's the last impression, what's that lasting impression that you're gonna put on their mind?
you come get me. I'm a competitor. Like we talked about, and like I've illustrated throughout my whole life. I'm a competitor. Doesn't matter where I start. It's about where I people that has been ahead of me in life and who's got the last laugh. So when you come get me, you're gonna get somebody that's gonna day through Saturday. Uh, that's good for the program and the organization and the community.
Come get me. Come get me. NFL,
Absolute
go get EJ.
facts.
Go
Go
out there
get
and get
that
him.
man.
Like you said, as long as you don't go and not be the Eagles, go get them. I can accept every other team. I'm quietly mad. I feel good for you for getting picked up, but if you're on the Cowgirls, the Commanders, bum, 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 or the Little Giants, I don't like to talk to you anymore. But
Hey,
yeah,
I mean,
that interviewed.
if he landed say in the NFC North and he wasn't on the Lions and he would be like with Aaron Rodgers and the Packers and things like that, like I would still cheer for him because it's not the team. Like I mean, like me as a live streamer, like no, I mean like real talk, like me as a live streamer, like I have a lot of Packer fans, I have a lot of Bear fans, I have a lot of Minnesota Viking fans, like it's not it's not the organization, so why am I going to hold them in some sort of light? Just the same way. It's like these players got to eat. They got to get they got to get their paycheck just like I got to get my paycheck to provide for my family. You got to get your paycheck. Like it's not their fault that they are with a division rival. So, that's always been my whole thing. That's what kind of separates me from like the whole mentality of like I don't know, like me, I've always had like that, like rivalries aren't what they are today because of that. Like, I mean, yeah, you'll have like for that week, I won't eat cheese if I'm playing the Packers that week.
Right.
Things like that. Like you have that, like the little friendly stuff, but like I mean, hey, I cheer for EJ anywhere he go.
I'm playing with them.
I know.
Because OG OG fans, like people that have been fans for years, not these new generation fans, but people that's been fans for years, they live and die by their team. And a fight was about to break out in front of me. I'm talking about, the Commanders and the Cowboys, and it's why I love. It's like the fans and how hard they go. Hey, Lord knows that there's so many other things that come with it. That's one of the good.
It'll be exciting to see you with the Eagles. I'm with you, Eric. We Yeah, hey, Howie Long. I mean, not Howie Long.
Howie Roseman.
Get him on practice squad. You know what I'm saying? Don't use it. Give him a tryout. You know what I'm saying? Like, get him out there. You know, I like this mode. You know, I'm not really about it's about you. You know, like everyone has. You know, not anybody can go play football. Straight up, they have the design. They got the heart to play, but when they get on that field, it just click together. You know what I'm saying? But to be able to have those things click together for you and still be that hungry, you know, to accept any placement at all and just know that you're still gonna go out and give your 100%. It's just enough for me. Like, you know, that's warrior stuff. You know what I'm saying? Football's a game of gladiators. You know, it's a new age gladiators. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's even have an opportunity to play, just enjoy it. You know, embrace it.
Yeah, I definitely say this doesn't last forever, so use it while I have it. It's forever. So, well, I can. So
Is there going to be a book two? Is there a
all right,
book two coming? Are you
yeah,
working on that at all? Because
a
I seen
lot of
that. Tell us a little bit about that book two. I mean, after I seen the title, I was like, yeah, I'm booked already. But tell us a little bit about the book you got.
yeah. So it's like a short mental health book or mental hardship book. Sorry, um, and it kind of just illustrates some of the things that I went through in my life, how I seen it, and how I felt, and how I seen other age group and just other people in general deal with it, and how I dealt with it, and how I not necessarily overcome it, because I don't think you can overcome life, but how I found the courage and strength and power to accept life. And so, kind of talks about that. Then it talks about some of the mental illnesses in today's society, the depressions, the anxieties, the some of the stuff of that nature. So kind of just all ties into one at the end, saying that this is a battle, a war, if you want to call it, that we face together. Um, we can't choose to prioritize your mental hardships over mine, because at the end of the day, mine still affects yours. And if we don't if we don't come together in a way where all of us can have a positive outcome, then it's gonna. So that's what it kind of talks.
Part two.
Will there be a part two? Then asked about the part two. Be a part two. I don't necessarily know if I'll write a book again. If I exhibit that people might not be ready for. But I for that. Yeah.
Oh, I like that. See, that's what incites me to say you need to make it. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm about that people talking about stuff that people really can't handle. It's like you should be able to have an shouldn't or you know what I'm saying enough to express all of our feelings about everything. So hey, if you're thinking about writing that book, just how you just threw it at me, write it. You never know, like, you know what I'm saying? Like you never know the future. You never know what the future holds. You, your second career after football. You know what I'm saying? You could be the next great author.
Yeah, I definitely want to play it. I think it's one of those situations, like I said before, it's legacy. And I think the legends, they all had some legacy they left behind. Whether we talk about the Jackie Robinsons, the Martin Luther Kings, the Babe Ruths, I mean, the Tom Brady's, they all had a legacy that they left behind them, and that's what makes them legendary. So it's just a part of my legacy, and this is what I'm leaving behind.
That's
The lead to
awesome.
make sure you get that sack before he leaves.
Oh, that's guaranteed.
I do want to take a quick second though. Sorry to cut you off, but hey, shout out to Hollywood 80 24-month member badge. Says bang bang Niner gang stand up. Come on. Shout out to you, Hollywood.
It's crazy.
But But yeah, man, I mean, real talk, I might have to go take a look and go get that book because I ain't gonna lie, and I'll be open with the community and things like that. Like I deal with depression, I deal with anxiety, I deal with like a lot of mental health issues and things like that. So hopefully it can at least kind of help me on my journey.
Yeah, man. And it's crazy. I don't like issues. Like I feel like when we say mental health, or you got an illness,
Yeah,
it's mental hardships in life, for good or for bad. Um, it's what defines you. It's what defines you, and it's what makes you, a part of that process. Because I had dealt with, this, getting realizing it and realizing that this is not something. If you have people that are close to you, like you say, your nation or your fan, they deserve to know the real you. If you
yeah,
feel like, you know,
absolutely.
Everybody like ADHD and all this stuff. Like you're the old parents and like our parents or whatnot. They tell you straight up like people were dealing with it then, but we didn't have no names for it. Like you're just a normal kid anyway, you know what I'm saying? Like they don't like the fact that you actually have a title on it because that is life, that is everything. Everybody kind of will always have their own problems. Everybody always deal with their own battles. Those are tests in life. Not gonna be no cakewalk through the park. You're gonna deal with your trials. You're gonna deal with your tribulations. Come out of those things. So what really makes you as a person?
yeah, I wholeheartedly agree. It's just that some people don't necessarily see that on the path to see that possibly that you can survive it. There's been thousands of people, millions of people that have done it before you that have, and they have survived it doing X, Y, and Z. Then there will be people that are in a better headspace because they can survive it. I think so often that, for instance, you survive your trials and tribulations, you have your ways of how you did it, and you just see I'm going through it. You don't help me go through it. You don't
Mhm.
tell me, young boy, this is how I did it. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people that once they went through it and they successfully beat their, okay with walking away from it, as opposed to seeing the nurse and say, let me help you as well. And that problem we're kind of facing where it's, I could finally breathe, but the next person's still holding their breath and they don't know if they're finna go or if they're finna make it. But you know how to breathe and you're not telling them how to do it.
That's
Yeah,
what we're here for, to help each other out. A
Exactly.
lot of people get selfish with it, but in reality, like we're here to communicate, socialize with each other, help each other do anything. Like we're all one big family, a big melting pot of people that we are all a big family, but you don't see it across the board. You got all these things making people believe this, act this way, be this way, or whatnot. And like you said, like there are so many people that can help so much. I'm a big even with like celebrities and whatnot. You know what I'm saying? You got celebrities from every town, every city that are big time celebrities. Like if you came from this small little hood, you know what I'm saying? Is that what you want to claim, to fame? That I came from this hood, this is where I made it to. Well, why is that hood still a hood when you have enough money in your possession to change it? You know what I'm saying? Like that's always been like my biggest thing. Like, why aren't people, reaching out? I know they have little fundraisers and whatnot like that. But you literally have enough money to change the whole outlook of your whole neighborhood. That's my goal in life. I told myself coming from South Central LA, man, I'm gonna hit it and I'm gonna change the whole spectrum of our family. You know what I'm saying? There won't be another, you know, his generation before after that and after that. So I don't have to worry about what we had to deal with growing up. You know what
Amen.
I'm saying? That's always been my goal in life, and I strive every day to make sure I can keep that promise to myself. So
Amen.
I get what you're saying, and I get what you're saying. You got to give back, man. That's what people don't give anymore. They're so into taking as opposed to giving back. Like you said, those are some things that people do deal with. That's just hard. Everybody's built different. Everybody's made different. Can't deal with certain things as easily as the other. But doesn't mean that you need to like make fun of them or just disassociate with them. Those are the people that need you the most. They don't just need your family; they need you to be a friend, a family, whatever you need to be in that situation to help them get through their situation. Because you shouldn't always be thinking about yourself. You got to think about others too when you're living this life.
Amen. I definitely agree. I think not to get too deep into it, but yeah, I think there's a big word called tribalism, and we're very tribalistic people, and it's me and mine over ours or over you and yours, and it's you could go very broad or you could go very narrow, which is me and my family, my immediate family. As we're good, I don't care about y'all. And then you can go broader with me in America. As long as we're good, I don't care about the rest of the world. And we go all different types of direction with it. So I think once we leave that tribalistic mindset, I think we could start getting into a more loving mindset. But it takes time.
Yeah. Let's get into a little bit more positive note. What's your favorite football movie?
You know what's crazy? I never cared for the football movies, even though they're classic, for the simple fact that I thought they all played on similar. Just I don't know. There's one side. What's it called? It's not called The Blind Side. It's an old movie. Oh,
It was a movie, The Blind Side.
I thought The Blind Side was about
Michael Orr.
Yeah, not where he's like straw side. It's like weak side. Strong.
Oh, okay. Remember the Titans.
Remember the Titans. Yeah, Remember the Titans. My favorite one. That's my favorite one for sure. That's a
Trox.
huh?
That's a Trox. What's your favorite movie? Football movie.
I mean, there's been a bunch of them. One of them was that one about the Clemson guy that had to take care of his brother, and
Oh,
I forgot the name of it.
The Polar Express. Oh man! Now that you said that, I see the movie playing in my head. I'm like, I remember that movie too. And he had to take care of his brother, like have his brother like the locker room or whatnot, or in his room or whatnot. Yeah, that's a newer movie too.
Yeah,
that movie, guys. If you guys got it in the chat, hit us up. The name of this movie that we're talking about.
When did that?
What was it?
When did that come out? How recent is that?
Like a year or two.
Yeah, so it was close.
Dang, man. Why did you say that one, Trucks, without the name? Now my brain's going like, what's the name of that movie? It just came out too, man. It was a Clemson guy. I remember that too. And he had his brother. And I remember he had his brother. Like, I'm a big movie guy. I love movies. I can't even think of it right now. So, there's a couple. Like, for me, all the good football movies are great. That's just a passion for football for me. But my favorites all the time definitely got to be the program. Because like growing up in my high school, like I came from South Central, so I moved to like Central California after when I got to high school, and like there was already this dude there, and he's like the football star. It's more predominantly white area. You know what I'm saying? So there wasn't that many black people there, and he's a black guy, and Safety. That was the movie. Thanks, baby. Yep. Safety. That's the movie. Drops. That movie is good. Thanks, baby. But like, he was cocky. You know what I'm saying? Like he's just being my best friend. That's funny thing about it. 'Cause I didn't like him when I first got there. And like just playing in that era with him, and like like it got movie. The program was hockey guy, and I was the new guy coming in. He was like shorter and faster and quicker. He was more power back, and I was more speed back. Juking and stuff. And that whole movie, like, kind of like intertwined. You know what I'm saying? Like, you feel that movie, like, hey, that reminds. We're the two big guys on campus, come from different backgrounds, and we both can play ball. But by the end of it all, we became like best friends. Rest his soul. Like we were best friends ever since then. But you start out kind of rough because you're coming from that different background, and then like you guys work together and just football field bring you together. You know what I'm saying? Like make some of your people you never thought you'd be friends with. You got to become best friends too. I still today, like all my, football buddies that we played together, and like we're still all good friends. You know what I'm saying? Like, I call them any day I want to. Boom, what up, man? How you doing? How's the family type thing? And we're definitely still brothers all the way till, football's a family, a brotherhood, it's just like a fraternity.
For sure. I definitely agree with that.
Absolutely. Now, I do got something that I do need to like. Okay, I just paid for my Zoom, but it says that we only got 4 minutes and 15 seconds before it kind of cuts us off. But I don't know why it's doing that. Um,
I didn't know you even paid for Zoom. I thought Zoom was free.
yeah, well, they got you only get so much time, I guess. Even though that like we're not really like I don't know like live with Zoom to where it would cut out in that, but I guess it does. So I went and got it, and now it still says that we only got like under 3 minutes. And I'm like freaking out right now because I'm trying to get it to where, we got whenever we want.
Yeah. But hey, man, if that's what it is, that's what it is. That's why I told you we need to be on StreamYard.
Hey,
Shout out to StreamYard.
hey, shout out to StreamYard.
Yeah.
StreamYard out there, man, putting out that great service. But hey, man, like the sleepy, I like what I see with you. Like you just did demeanor. You know what I'm saying? Like you already know what you don't really care what anybody else think about what you can do. You're like, I know what I can give my all. I don't need to worry. I feel like you gonna waiting all night. Like, oh my, I'm saying you probably gonna have a nice sleep tonight. You'll wait tomorrow, see what happens. Okay, ride the wave, man. Like just keep that mentality. And then when, like I said, when you get your first option, I just go for it. I'm running because I really know you can do some work in the NFL, man. Like everybody can. It's not for everybody, but like outside noise because people don't realize football. If you make it to NFL, you got skills. Even the sorriest people who we as fans be like, that guy's trash. You know what I'm saying? Like he trash. He is definitely talented because he would not be part of the 1% that makes it. So, if you get any opportunity getting in there, just make sure you let people know. And go put that big noise out. I want to be able to be like 3 years EJ, Pro Bowler, he was freaking small school guy, that just never gave up on his.
I definitely appreciate that. I definitely appreciate you too for having me on here. It's been a great time. It's probably been even longer than we expected.
Yeah, I appreciate you for being
Yeah.
here.
It's been a great time. It's a and stuff like that, and this is the dream. I'm living the dream right now, man. Just being here, and every happy and peacefully because I'm on my side. So,
And then you want, are you a big social media guy? Do you like people following you and stuff like that? If that's the case, like go ahead and just your time, shoot it out there.
yeah. So Twitter, it's Coco_smooth. And on Instagram, it's Coco Smooth, COCOSMOOVE. Follow me, talk to me, whatever. I'm a pretty open guy, man. I ain't going big time.
You get that, that NFL money. Hey, if you get your first contract, what do you think would be the first thing you buy?
Huh?
If you get that contract, what do you think would be the first thing you buy?
I don't know. Some first thing I buy, I'm actually, yeah, I don't know. I don't want to say I'm gonna buy a house, but we've been looking at that anyways. We've been looking at spending money correctly anyways. So just kind of do the stuff I do right now as an investor on a greater scale.
Nice, smart man. Invest that money, baby. Flip it. I like it. This guy's smart, dude. He's a
This a LP. This a LP. It's a LP.